Everything worked out. Really.
We're live.
So we'll go ahead and open the meeting for the Angola Board of Public Works and Safety. Wednesday, July 5th, 2023. Roll call, please.
Member Hickman,
Here.
Member Martin, Member Olson.
Here.
Request approval of the June 5th and 19th minutes.
With the addition of minutes, I so.
Moved, seconded, discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Order of business, request approval of the stormwater management BMP facilities agreement with the Cameron Memorial Hospital for property located at 416 East Balmy Street, 303 South Euclid Avenue, and the intersection of Euclid and Wall Street. Moved. Moved and seconded, Amanda, everything?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Moved and seconded, discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Request approval of the stormwater management BMP facilities agreement with the Northern Indiana Public Service Company, NIPSCO, for property located at 1591 South Wayne Street. Moved and seconded, again. You're
Yeah, no issues with that either.
okay. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Request approval of agreement with Janelle Sloan for mural painting on the retaining wall located at the northeast corner of South Darling Street and Fox Lake Road. Janelle,
Hi there. I have a sample of the concept if you'd like to see it.
please.
Absolutely.
I also brought the contract Mr. Troop that I had drafted a while back. I have a short version and a long version here. This roll represents in inches scaled down what the length of that wall is. So what's great is it's not a very tall retaining wall, but it just goes on forever. So on my end, trying to design something that was going to fit that space and make sense, I had to come up with a motif that would carry about 180 feet, give or take. So I figured what we all have in common, and that's timeless and beautiful always, is nature, of course. But more specifically, I'm looking at doing flora and fauna of nature that you maybe haven't spent time with since possibly when you were a kid crawling around in the ground in the grass. So I'm looking at more of like a vintage layout with birds and insects, native fauna, like I said, the flowers and the leaves and the nuts and bugs and all of it. So there's some more examples in this, whether you want to see that or not, or I'll stick around at the end if you want to take a closer look at it. But this approach that I am looking to do involves kind of like an etching or a line work. And I think that it is, it's elegant and lasting and kind of this vintage vibe, but it will carry through that whole wall. The primary focus will be blacks and whites, and then the background is actually going to be wearing most of the color, so it's not too bold, too bright. And I think that's going to tie that whole wall into one cohesive concept. So that's where I'm going with this so far. Obviously, like I said, if you want to see more of this, I have a lot of sources on here, and it's just going to come up one piece at a time. So I'm excited, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
If you guys have questions, I'm happy to unroll this, but it'll span the room here. So there's grasshoppers, praying mantises, crickets. There's a lot in this roll. Just pulling images and sources and pieces, like I said, that was going to carry the whole length of that wall that we all share in common. That's going to last forever and not lose its awe, really. It's always going to be, it's gonna look good for a really long time.
Well, you went to all the trouble to get that ready. I guess maybe I'd like to see it if you don't mind.
If you want to see this, okay.
I can hold it up.
All right. And it's just sources right now.
Thank you.
What's the background color gonna be?
So there's some colors here. I'm trying to go,
Well, there's gonna be different types of different colors.
yeah. So if I start with some primary colors, then I'll be able to mix my own using those. I'm trying to be resourceful as far as paint purchases as well and material costs go. So I can do a lot with just a few different colors. This just kind of gets the feel or the vibe across, and it's kind of enlarged, hyper focused images of things, like I said, you might not spend time with as an adult anymore, but you would have in your youth. If you're from Indiana or if you're from this area, you know what all of these things are. At one point, you've encountered them in life. So it's also kind of the length of the wall and the low features that it has. I'm focusing more on more ground dwelling species varieties. So that's also another component of what I'm pulling to be part of this.
Is there any like yearly upkeep on a mural? I don't.
The paint itself has a certain time frame. So really, as artists, we're at the mercy of the quality of the paint. So the best thing we can do is purchase the best of the best. Do you guys want to see this any closer? You get the gist of it here. So thank you. Yeah, and it goes on even further. This was in addition to, but that's a lot of length. This is just in inches, so I'm gonna be out there for project. Yeah.
So just for real, I'm 62. How long will that last?
I mean, I can contact
20
Bear.
years?
I think they have, year.
More than 4?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what Bear puts behind their paint. I don't know.
But there's no yearly upkeep on it, no spraying.
No, eventually in time, it may need updated, but I also kept that in mind with designing this. Because it's blacks and whites, it's gonna wear really nicely. If it does start to fade over time, it has a vintage aesthetic anyways. So I think it's gonna look good for a really, really long time. It'll all be primed. All of the paint that's being used is what's recommended by mural artists. I've consulted and talked with others, and they do last. It'll hold up. Given location, it's gonna be around for a really, really long time.
Kim, you're happy with the agreement?
Yes, very.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? Thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to that down there.
Like I said, I have a blank copy of this contract here, and I don't know if you just
I think you got a
need
copy.
paper or,
I just signed
Yeah.
it. We have.
well, I'm gonna stick around if anybody wants to see more of this or has more questions, but we can take care of signing it at the end if you'd like. Thank you.
Thank you.
They've already had that.
Appreciate you taking this on.
My pleasure.
Before she leaves.
I move to approve Janelle's painting of the mural on that wall.
Okay, have a second? Second. Moving seconded, discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed nay. Motion's carried. Thank you. Okay, department heads, Ryan.
Nothing for me there.
Kim?
Nothing, Mr. Mayor.
Or Corey.
Mayor.
None going on down there. Okay. Chad?
Nothing for me, Mr. Mayor.
No report.
Okay, Tom? Matt?
I'll save it for council.
All right. Mackenzie?
Okay.
Nothing, sir.
Amanda?
No report.
Chief?
Nothing, sir.
Okay. Any other business? Kenzie, are you gonna be at the council meeting?
I will be.
Okay, very good. If there's no other business, this meeting is adjourned. Next meeting is scheduled for Monday, August 7th. And now we look forward to this. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
As soon as possible.
It's